Constance Wu has spoken about how social media backlash led to her suicide attempt in 2019. Appearing on Meghan Markle's Spotify podcast Archetypes, Constance speaks about the sexual harassment she experienced at the hands of a producer while working on the TV series Fresh Off the Boat. Constance explained that her anguish over what was happening led her to tweet about her disappointment that the show had been renewed for a sixth season in 2019, leading to a huge social media backlash and a particularly hurtful message from a fellow Asian actor. Constance explained to Meghan that it was one particular DM that led her to feel like I didn't deserve to be alive anymore. She said the Asian actress basically said that I had become a disgrace to my race and that I was basically better off dead. It made me feel like I didn't deserve to be alive anymore, Constance tearfully told Meghan, and so I tried to end my own life. Luckily I had a friend who was able to get me to the ER and so I'm okay, but it really made me realize. I know it seems like I'm not okay because I'm crying now, but I think I'm always going to cry about this because it was really scary, you know. 3 years ago that prompted me to get off social media, to put my career aside and to focus on my mental health, because you don't want to think of what would have happened if I didn't have that type of help back then, you know. I wouldn't have had my daughter. She went on to say that I think about the actress who shamed me so horribly over DM. A big part of it is that she thought I deserved to suffer and she thought I wasn't suffering enough. I think that if she had been not behind a computer screen and in the room and seeing what I was going through and looking into my eyes. I don't think she's a horrible person. I think the internet does that to you because you can't see the person going through something. Asked whether she had reconnected with the unnamed actor in question, Constance said she has not. You know, I do forgive her for it. I do, she said, because I know that anybody who is trying so hard to be a certain way is going through their own battle. It'd probably get emotional if I saw her, but I think I would be able to really stand well on my own 2 feet. Constance explained on the podcast how it was during the first year of filming for Fresh Off the Boat that she experienced sexual harassment and intimidation by one of the producers. My outburst on Twitter over the show's renewal 3 years ago was so seemingly out of character. It was the build-up of several years of repressing the abuse that I had suffered at the hands of the producer in my first year. She explained that as it was her first screen role, she had no experience of working in TV and I was scared that any wrong move I would get fired. And this producer was like, I'm protecting you, you have to do everything through me. Don't talk to your agents, don't talk to your lawyers. I didn't know what else to think. The show was such a beacon for Asian American representation that I didn't want to tarnish the one beacon that was available to us in mainstream media. She added, I took care of it, I figured out how to work around it really well and keep my job. And so when I tweeted this without context, it made me seem really ungrateful and petty and bratty, I guess is the word. Meghan was keen to ask Constance how she will talk to her daughter, too, about her suicide attempt when she is older and may have questions. My parent didn't even know until a few weeks before I put out the statement, Constance explained. I didn't even want to tell them, but my shrink was like, you should tell them before you go on social media and tell the whole world. In Asian American families it's really hard to talk about those kind of things. My mom called me and she was like, well, think about your daughter. Now that you've put a statement out, is this something that you want her knowing that you did? You're a public figure." I could see her point, but I said, "You know what, Mom, I do want her to know that everybody, including her mom, goes through a hard time, and when you go through those hard times, people will help you and you can find help and you can get better." Constance first made the revelation about the sexual harassment she experienced in her upcoming new memoir, Making a Scene, and again when she talked with the New York Times ahead of the release of the book. While the actress discloses details about how the man exhibited controlling behaviors during the show's first 2 seasons, she would only refer to the man by using an initial. Loosely inspired by the life of chef and food personality Eddie Huang and his 2013 autobiography, Fresh Off the Boat was the first network TV sitcom in the U.S. to feature a family of Asian Americans as main characters in over 20 years. The show, which depicted a Taiwanese-American family living in Florida in the 1990s, went into production in 2014, and eventually premiered on ABC the following February to positive critical reception. Constance maintains that producers started showing those controlling behaviors in the first season, which included demanding that she run all her business matters past him and telling her what to wear. Fresh Off the Boat would go on to air for 6 seasons, ending in February 2020 after earning the distinction of being the first series featuring an all-Asian American main cast to broadcast over 100 episodes. So far, representatives for Fresh Off the Boat and 20th Television have not publicly responded to any of the accusations.